Happy New Year to all my friends abroad.
Hey, what's up guys? It is December 31st at almost 10 p.m. the last night of 2017. Thomas and I are about to head over to a friend's house for a little bit of a... I'm looking for the remote control because the TV is too loud. We're about to go to a friend's house to see the fireworks, chill out for a bit. I'm not really into parties, that's why you never see me at parties or discos and stuff like that, so that's not my kind of thing. I remember when I was 21, 22, I went to a couple of New Year's parties. I did not enjoy them, especially because they had an open bar and I would only have like one drink and pay a whole lot of money for an open bar that I wouldn't use. Even today I wouldn't use it. And then stumbling into drunk people, and no, it's just not my thing. Sorry. I prefer other types of get-togethers, other types of parties. Yeah, not my thing. So, I will be sharing with you guys part of the fireworks. That's the main reason I turned on the camera for vlogging today. Not much else to share. I sincerely hope you had a wonderful new year. By the time you watch this vlog, it will already be 2018. And I'm so grateful that I have your views, your time, and that I get to share pieces of my life with you. It really means a lot to me, and it's the reason why I do this. So, alright, I'll see you guys soon. Lots of people already waiting for the fireworks. They're going to be right on the water. Ready for the fireworks?
Oh yes, I am.
Hey! It started! Happy New Year! Whoa! What's up guys, Carolina here. Today is January 3rd. Yes, January 3rd. I took a couple days of vlogging in an attempt to catch up so that my video editor can catch up with the editing, and then we're not so late anymore. Right now we're still 2 weeks late with the upload. So if you're new here, by the way, if this is the first video you ever watch, I'm Carolina Millan. I am an entrepreneur, public speaker, digital marketer, online business consultant, coach, marketing coach, and I show people how to make a living on the internet, how to build businesses on the internet, how to build their personal brands, how to leverage affiliate marketing, how to follow their passions, be able to monetize them thanks to the internet. So that's in a nutshell what I do. If this is the first time you're here, you can hit the subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy my content, hope you enjoy what I do, and make sure you tap the notification bell as well so you don't miss any uploads. Anyway, it's January 3rd. We all know what happened with Logan Paul. I'm not even gonna address it in this vlog because you will watch this vlog maybe a week from now or something. So I will make, however, well, by the time you watch this, there will be a separate video on my YouTube channel where you can listen to my take on the whole suicide forest thing. Not just a suicide forest, but what Logan did. You can watch that video so you understand my position and why I even have a position on the matter. So the internet has been crazy the past 48 hours because of what this kid did. It's sad because I did admire him in a way. I didn't agree with his loudness, his obnoxiousness, that word, narcissism, etc. But I did see a lot of good in the kid, in the guy, that I am not seeing right now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, he's gonna need to do something huge to ever patch this huge hole in his reputation. And it got me thinking about online reputation management. It's tough, but you know, it's even worse with a personal brand. Personal branding, which is, by the way, one of the things I talk about in my content, in my videos, in my vlogs. Your personal brand is going to be with you forever, forever. That's why as personal brands, we need to be extra careful with everything we put out there on the internet. You can delete videos, you can delete your tweets that you didn't mean to say, but trust me, somebody already took a screenshot. Things live on forever on the internet, and Logan Paul is gonna suffer because people are gonna dig up this story every time they want to talk about him. Oh, remember Logan Paul, the guy who uploaded the suicide guy on the internet. So your personal brand is your biggest asset, my friend. You need to take care of your personal brand. I don't know how to even tell you, but you need to protect yourself. You need to think twice before you put an opinion on the internet. If you are serious about building a personal brand because you want to become a public figure and you want to be an entrepreneur or a speaker, or you know, build a mass movement, have people follow you, pay you for your advice, that my friend Russell Brunson says in his Expert Secrets book, you no longer have the same freedom you have when you're just a random person who hides behind a fake username and a fake avatar. You are welcome to create a fake Twitter username and express your opinions that way, but with your personal brand you cannot do that anymore. Your personal brand is your biggest asset on the internet. You have to take extra care of it. I wanted to share with you guys some tips about online reputation management and of course about personal branding. The thing is, with something as awful as what happened to Logan, I don't think even the biggest PR firm can help him right now. I mean, there have been companies who have poisoned people because there was some wrong ingredient in their products, you know, even pharmaceutical companies, and they had to recall the products. Companies that have killed people, airlines that, you know, have crashed. All of those things, in the end, maybe not always, but in the end, they figure out a way to get people to forget about it, and they figure out a way to make up for it. Because for the most part, not always, but for the most part, they are genuine mistakes. There was some crazy employee who put the poison in the product, or the machine was broken, or, you know, there usually is something that is not intentional. So people are able with time to forgive, with time, but eventually they forgive and forget. But when it's something as big as what happened with this kid, when it's intentional, because this was not a mistake, this was intentional. Some people are calling it a mistake, but this doesn't qualify as a mistake. This was intentional. So when you unfortunately do something so stupid, so disrespectful, so harmful intentionally, it's just hard. It's incredibly hard to rebuild your personal brand out of it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's really hard, like extremely hard. And you can probably think of a lot of famous people who, I don't know, committed crimes or killed someone, and depending on how bad the crime is, most of them, you know, it's really hard for them to build that back up. Even look at Robert Downey Jr. I'm not an expert in what happened with him. I was not really a fan of his when the whole thing happened, but he did some bad stuff. He was an alcoholic. I don't remember why, but I think he was in prison. Anyway, there was a time in Hollywood where nobody wanted anything to do with him. You can look it up. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. Like, his name was a synonym of, ooh, no. Look at him now, how he redeemed himself with Iron Man and everything he's done up till now. But he did not film a dead guy and put it on YouTube. Just so bad. It is so bad. Anyway, back to personal branding. My friend, rule number one of personal branding. Everything you say on the internet, everything you post can be used against you. So you need to think twice before you publish anything. Like, every time you're going to express an opinion, especially on Twitter, read the tweet twice. Read it twice. Edit it if necessary. And here's a good way to, like, do some proofreading. Read it and think to yourself, with my grandmother, would I be okay if my grandmother read this? My grandfather, or somebody in your family that you really respect? The answer is yes, then go ahead and publish it. Same with any type of content. If it's a video, if it's a Facebook post, if it's a photo, before your friends go and upload photos of you being drunk, think twice before letting those photos go out. The thing is, if you post a tweet and then you regret it and then you're like, oh, this is bad, and you delete it, like I said, somebody already took a screenshot. Always read twice. Second, be controversial with your personal brand, but only to a certain extent. Again, I have to put Logan as an example here. He went too extreme. he went to the extreme. He was already a bit controversial. He went all the way to the extreme of what not to do with your personal brand. Associating your personal brand to something as terrible, as disrespectful. Like, I can't even mention this stuff anymore. But a good example is politics. Think twice before expressing opinions about politics publicly. And you will see a lot of personal brands who do this anyway, and they take sides with presidential candidates or other political candidates. When they do that, number one, they get paid a lot of money, and number two, they have to be prepared to the backlash that is going to come from the opposition, from the people from the other party. So before you express opinions about politics, really be prepared for the backlash, and understand that you might lose clients. You will lose clients, you will. People take politics very seriously. For me, it's like, I'm not really a person that talks about politics or knows much about politics. And I did learn my lesson early on, maybe 5, 6, no, longer than that. It was probably 9 years ago. I posted one political tweet and I regretted it really bad. Like, I really regretted it. I deleted it, but a lot of people started attacking me, and it was not even that bad or terrible. So politics, religion, unless you are super attached to your religion and you're somebody who really practices the religion and you go to church every day, you really respect it, then maybe. But sometimes you might still want to keep your religious views to yourself, because people are also very sensitive to that. And if you want to separate your business and your business life from your personal life, don't talk about religion when you're talking about your personal brand, okay? When you're posting on social media or uploading videos. People can be very sensitive about religion, and you have to protect yourself. If you want to do business with people of all colors, of all religions, of all countries, of all nationalities, of all political views, of all whatever, if you really don't make a distinction, then don't let them make a distinction like that with you. Let them judge you by the quality of your content, by the quality of your product or service, by your quality as a human being. And trust me, you can detach that from religion and politics. You can. Like, I never talk about those topics, and people can still appreciate me for who I am and for what I believe in every other aspect of life that is far less controversial. Another thing that I lately avoid talking about is, I don't avoid it that much, is my beliefs when it comes to certain conspiracy theories or, the pharmaceutical industry and the whole medical industry. And I will tell you guys now in this vlog, I do believe that the pharmaceutical industry is mostly made to take money out of us, and it's just a huge business. I do believe there are probably cures for a lot of diseases, including cancer and AIDS. There are probably cures, and I do believe that it is just so profitable for them to keep you sick that they will keep you sick, and that doctors for the most part are a little bit brainwashed. So I put that out there. Anyway, the reason I say these things is not just because I woke up one day and thought about it. It's because I've seen it in my own family. Like, I've seen how alternative treatments, or how they like to call them complementary treatments, have helped my parents fight their diseases and kept them healthy. Something that chemotherapy wouldn't do. I am certain that my mother would not be alive today, 5 years, almost 6 years since she got diagnosed with cancer. She would not be here, and the doctors agree. If I hadn't done my due diligence and investigated natural therapies for her and helped her change her diet and everything, I don't think my mother would be here. So I've seen it firsthand, and I don't think it's placebos. I know there are people who get healed because of placebos and stuff, but this is not it. So that's also a bit of a touchy subject. I avoid getting into big discussions with people, but when I see other people that agree with me, then I love talking to them on Twitter or social media. So those are probably the main topics that you may want to avoid when talking about your personal brand. Now, the next thing, my friend, what's going to be your niche when it comes to personal branding? Personally, I don't like people putting me in just one small category. I like having the freedom to put out content that is talking about different topics. However, you will notice I don't one day talk about sports and then comedy and then business and then entrepreneurship and marketing, social media, and do-it-yourself things and architecture. Because if you do that, if you're all over the place, you will confuse your audience, and you might not even build an audience because you're so all over the place. So pick certain niches. Maybe don't be classified into one tiny thing. You don't want to be labeled too much. Pick something that you're passionate about, that you know about, that you can back back up with your experience and knowledge. And if, let's say, you are very passionate about social media and you want to be able to talk about social media in your videos and your content, your blog posts and your social media, then get educated, get some books. That was the first thing I did 10 years ago when I got into social media. It was 2008. First thing I did, I started following gurus, including Gary Vaynerchuk, Scott Stratton, Mike Dillard, Jonathan Budd, Brian Solis, Chris Brogan, Darren Rose. And then I started buying books, lots of books. In fact, this is just some of my book collection here, right? These are just some of my books. Got a few more books up here. I have a video coming up soon where I will recommend books to you guys that you gotta read. But anyway, instruct yourself, learn, read, educate yourself, invest in yourself, and then execute on the topic. The first thing I did when I said, oh my God, I love this Twitter thing, I love this social media thing. So everything I was learning, I first implemented it in my own personal brand. And I started, okay, so the Twitter experts are saying, this is the way you should tweet, you should add value, you should curate content, you should blog, so with a B, right? So I started a blog and I started making videos and I started tweeting articles that I thought were useful, and I started reading those articles. I started doing research. I started following new people, engaging with them. So I started doing all those things in my own account. And so I grew my Twitter account. Now I'm really stuck with my Twitter account because I'm not that focused on Twitter anymore, but I'm using Twitter as an example because it was the first social media that I took seriously back in 2008. So I grew my Twitter to 3,000 followers in like 2-3 months, which back then in 2008, 2009 was a big deal. It was a big deal. It wasn't that huge, especially here in Chile. There were very few people, so I got media attention. Like I was in newspapers, people were interviewing me. I was an influencer. DirecTV gave me free DirecTV. I still have it. So I became an influencer. Slowly I began to be a consultant because people saw what I was doing with my personal account. They saw that I knew what I was talking about. They saw that I was knowledgeable. So I started getting opportunities coming to me, okay? By the way, this is turning out like a very long video, but I wanted to give you guys a practical advice on your personal brand and how to take care of it, things to avoid, things to do. Pick your topics, avoid topics that are too controversial, but be remarkable though. Be remarkable. Don't be afraid to express certain opinions, but like I said, stay away from going to the extremes and religion, politics and stuff like that, but express your opinion on other things. Express your opinion on the latest Facebook algorithm changes or the latest YouTube changes, or you can express your opinion on things that are happening in the niche that you pick. Okay, in my case, my niche is entrepreneurship, social media, digital marketing, affiliate marketing, advertising, blogging, vlogging, video marketing. Like those are all the things that I talk about. Inspiration, health, lifestyle, travel. Like those are a lot of things that I talk about, that I experience, and so I feel in a good position to talk about those topics. So the key, my friend, is that you're confident, that when you talk about a topic, you know what you're talking about, that you're knowledgeable, and that you can back up everything you say somehow. Maybe not everything, we're humans, but try to be able to back it up. Anyway, this turned out to be a very long vlog. Earlier today I talked to my video team. I'm excited. I'll be putting out a lot of useful content for you guys. I think I already said that. I don't know. I mean, this video turned out very long. So if you're new here, if this is the first time you see any of my videos, remember to subscribe. Leave me a comment if you found this little tips on personal branding useful, and if you will implement them. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your business. If you're just building your personal brand, let me know what your focus is going to be. I would love to pin the best comments, the best stories to the top. All right, I'll see you in the next vlog.